All right. All right. Hello, crowd. Give us a second. We got talent off right in front of everybody. We're not officially doing a show yet. For people that catch this later, uh, we when we go live. Once we hit the live button, Seth's son Trajan goes and posts the link for us. So it'll be a second before we actually start the show. But we
Are
have
you?
Eric. What?
Are you? I'm sorry. Are you gonna give him a countdown? Just joke.
He's already gone post in the link, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't be a
But
dick.
you did forget that 3, 2, 1. So.
Who cares? I don't. We don't
Sorry.
point it out when I make flaws.
Yeah.
That's not part of the gig here. So we have Eric Rodriguez with us. We have Justin Holland with us. Cal Kennedy's on the way. He has the information. I think I might have bad contact information for Kyle because I sent him a text a few days ago and didn't hear back. And then, like, literally, as we're getting ready to go live, I got a message from Leah, like, "You want Kyle?" I was like, "Yeah." So, Kyle, I believe, is trying to get on. Hopefully, he will join us. Excuse me. I believe we probably given Trajan enough time. So we could go ahead. Actually, you know what? Give him an extra second. Just a quick overview because I haven't given it to any of you. A little outline. Um, so quickly, Seth and I are going to kind of promote something we're doing with music involving players, teams, whatever. So we'll just jump through that real quick. See if you guys, I don't know if you guys heard the news on a couple players moving, and just see if you guys have any thoughts on that. And if you don't, you just say you don't, and we'll keep moving. Um, but then talk about your season, the whole season, the World Series, the whole thing, the whole enchilada, and we'll close up talking about the All-Star weekend, and as that looks more and more like it's gonna happen, get your guys' thoughts on that. So that should be plenty of time. Got the link out, so let's go ahead and launch this thing and get it started. Even though we're just doing the show right here now, I still feel like I need to give our boy Frank Porter of the world champion Indie Edge his countdown, just so I feel normal. So here we go, Frankie. 3, 2. Hey, 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 beat baseball world. Welcome back to the Beepball Blues Show, episode number 98 with Neil Dog and Bam Bam. Seth Dog, we are closing in on 100. I knew we were close, but I didn't know until here recently that this is number 98, baby.
How did you find that out? And hello, how did you find that out?
I keep track of our episodes, so
Ah, you counted them.
um,
I thought you
I
might have
mean,
done
I don't go
it.
through like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have them broken up into where I save them on my external hard drive, um, because they're going to be huge like 100 years from now. So it's important I keep them. But I break them down by the year. So like I know, when I go post the shows we've done most recently in there, it tells me how many. I knew we were at 70 when we started this season. So when it tells me we have whatever 28, 27 in there now, I could do the math. Set dog in little numbers like that.
Ah, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
didn't know if you. I didn't know if you there was a notification or something like that. So but glad to know you're on top of it, Neil Dog. Glad
Thank
to know
you.
you're on
Thank
top
you.
of it.
So
One
real
day you
quick,
have to hold on real quick. You have to explain to me how this whole go live thing works. If the show is started or it's not started, it's very confusing to we old people, Neil
this
Dog.
time
So,
it didn't work the way it's always worked before.
okay.
I in the past, every time I've always had a short title before, and so I just pop it in real quick, hit the live button, and it works fine. But I tried to be more descriptive this time, like Eric Rodriguez, Justin Holland, man, World Series champs. I'm trying to sell it and have a big fancy title, and it's like, nah, man, we ain't having it, not on YouTube. So
Short
that's
and sweet.
what's that?
Short and sweet,
Yeah,
buddy.
once I shortened it up, everything worked just fine.
Keep it
So
moving.
all right. So real quick, we mentioned previously that we're willing to start, if people want to send music in that we could use on the show, we're happy to do that. The Heat have already sent in Heat Up. And, if we had music tonight, even though we're featuring the Edge, we might have used it just as part of the promo. But obviously, there's no music tonight. But so 2 quick things on that. We don't need to make a big deal out of it, but we're looking for like intro and outro music. So, when you send us a song like Heat Up, even though Seth would be happy if we used it every single week, we're not going to use Heat Up when we're featuring the Jets and the Edge or other teams. We'll use Heat Up if we're featuring the Heat. We're not going to use Jet songs when we're featuring the Philly Fire. So I know you guys are coming up with songs to pump up your song, your team and all that stuff. But if we're going to use it on the show, it needs to be a little less specific. And second of all, like Seth fired me from giving Frank Porter any instruction on how to do the music. So I damn sure I'm not going to let any of you give Frank instruction on how we're going to do the music. So if you send in the music, understand you're sending it in to let us use it under really Frank's discretion. When he uses it, when he doesn't, we'll give you guys credit, when we describe the show, not maybe while we're doing the show because we won't know, but when I post the show, it's like music provided by blah, blah, blah. We're happy to do all that. But it's going to be Frank's discretion. Nobody's going to go to Frank's and, man, play my hook, do this, do that. No making Frank dance if I can't make him dance. And so feel free to send us in, hit us up, work it out, whatever way you can. Just get in touch with us and we will go from there. We've gone on long enough. Seth thought we got to bring in the superstars. Eric Rodriguez, Justin Holland, thank you for your patience, fellas, and congratulations on an unbelievably successful season.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having us on.
We're working on our sound effects since we don't have any. Like Seth and I are supposed to start coming in.
We are lacking.
Either he lets me down or I let him down. We're not real twins. We don't work like that.
Yeah, we're backwards twins.
So both of you played for different teams last year. Erod, after a long stint with the Thunder. Justin, you come over from the Chaos. Both of you end up on the Edge. Before we dive into your season, it came out today that Brandon Chesser and Daniel Brock are going to be leaving the Blackhawks, and they want to go as a package. Both of them want to go to the same place. So I was wondering if you guys have any initial thoughts. I'll start with you, Eric, because you've been around a little longer, know these at least know Brandon a little better maybe. But do you have any thoughts on the impact these guys could have on some teams out there?
Well, personally, I think those two leaving Austin kind of puts them in a bit of a spot. But yeah, definitely wherever those two end up, I think they'll help the team out. I like is it Daniel Brock? Is that his full name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I watched him play this year. He seems like he's got a future. He's a hell of a rookie this year. So, and then Brandon
hit like 5. Sorry about that. I was just gonna jump in. So he hit like 550 something, 552 on the season. So
was he the one that got the Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, he was a male offensive rookie.
Okay.
Of the year.
Yeah. I did see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't even hear about that. That's actually the first time I heard about that. So. That's kind of dope, actually. We'll see what happens with it.
Oh, do I see them joining the Edge in the future?
Any thoughts from you, Justin? I know you're probably you're kind of. I don't know if you could get better on the mic, Eric. Sometimes you're kind of fading in and out or whatever. So just so you know, that's why I think we jump on you a little bit.
Is that better right there?
Y'all perfect. Sound good.
Okay. I was trying to be a wave, but hey, blind people watching, y'all can see my face.
You can turn the video off. It's always up to our guests. Justin, man, your thoughts on those players?
No, I don't know. I haven't been around quite as long. I mean, I know I've heard, Brandon's a killer player, and then obviously with Daniel getting Rookie of the Year. So, they're going to be a great addition. Do you have any news on where they're going, or you're just leading us
No,
on a little bit?
I mean, they're not trying to lead you on. They
Oh,
haven't
okay.
committed. They consider themselves right now free agents is the word I've got.
Okay, so they're
So
leading us on.
they want to be a package someplace. So
Oh, West Coast Dogs. Do I hear West Coast Dogs?
Now,
you-
it would be interesting to see, because will they stay in Texas, or you think they're going to go somewhere else?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah,
That's what I'm interested about, because there's how many Texas teams? I lost track, but
there was like 6, 7.
yeah, there are 6 at the World
There's a lot
Series
of
this year. So yeah.
I'm
Well,
interested.
you
Will
can
they go to
start
the Heat maybe, or you think maybe
pitching.
they'll go out to the Midwest somewhere? Who knows?
What'd
That's
you
what I
say,
think the
Seth?
Heat. I would say, I mean, they're hitters, so they're not going to go to a place without a pitcher, right? And so it kind of,
Exactly.
you can start seeing areas or teams that would be attractive, right? And if I'm those people, I'm not looking for like a middling of the pack pitcher either. You know what I'm saying? I'm going top 2 or 3 or whatever, So.
Well, they're coming off a team that just finished in 3rd. So I mean, what you just said, I think, is exactly right. If they weren't happy on a team that finished 3rd, they're looking for a team that can contend.
Well, there's only 2 above that.
Yeah. or like you started with, Seth, they're going to join the Edge. That is not at all any official word. So. I would like to I guess kind of tag off of something you said, Eric. Like that's going to hurt Austin in a big way, I think, because coming out of last year they lost like Greg Roberts and Eric and Danny Fabiano and Drew. What's Drew, the kid that went to Houston? I think he was on Austin. Yeah, wasn't he on Austin last year? I thought maybe I'm wrong about him, but either way, they're at a point where they need to start bringing in some young talent. And they got a home run with Daniel Brock, and to lose him so quickly, I'm guessing it's devastating. So I'm sorry to see it for their franchise. I hated breaking it. I was the one actually that let the news out, and I hated doing it because today's Ernie Cook's birthday, man. I didn't want to ruin Ernie. Ernie's a Hall of Fame Austin Blackhawk player, man. But happy birthday, Cook. The professor.
Hey, so you couldn't have waited till tomorrow?
Then Demo and DB would have got out there in front of me, man. That's a competitive business we're in. Announcing
at the front of the pack.
And announcing news for free. It's competitive, Seth. All right. Well, enough about that. Good luck to everybody involved. Hope things turn out, I guess, the way people want it to, but I can't imagine everybody's gonna be happy. Man, look, so you guys had an unbelievable year. For some reason, Alexa wants to get involved. You guys had an unbelievable year with the Edge. I don't know. Not too many people are surprised when you see the collection, but still, nevertheless, I want to start with you, Justin. You're a first-time champion, and a lot of your teammates, Nick Mulheron and Kyle and Mark Morris, the Michaels, there's a lot of first-time champions with this, and I don't think anybody should take that for granted. That's a big deal. How's it feel being a first-time champ?
Yeah, it was. It's definitely an experience. I mean, it don't really feel real. I mean, especially coming from, my first year playing the sport in 2018, I was with Athens. I think we finished 21st out of 22nd. So it's a long ways from coming from, which that was my introduction to the sport. Roger, I probably wouldn't be playing if it wasn't for Roger. So, coming from that.
Roger Keeney, right?
Roger Keeney, man. He's been playing, and he played with us that year, so he's kind of how I got introduced, and then coming from that all the way to the World Series, it's a surreal moment, and being able to play with the group of guys, so now it was awesome.
when I real quick, when I played in my first ever World Series in '87, it was in Ithaca, New York, and Roger Keeney was part of that like Ithaca team and part of the group
Yep.
that brought the World Series there to Ithaca. So man, that dude's been around for a long time.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good for the sport, and I know he's helped with because I think Athens kind of fell down a little bit, and so he's helped with. I think he even helped put on the tournament. That's why it was in Athens this year. So I think he helped put that on for Atlanta and worked with him a little bit.
Very cool.
Eric, can I just jump with Justin
Yeah.
real quick? Justin, being an ex home run hitter myself, I was watching that first inning, and you hit the home run, and then over your next few at bats, right, you kind of struggled.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he's still trying to hit another home run. And then there you go. You hit another home run.
I'd say, man, I don't change how I swing. What actually, if you look, for the sighted people, they'll be able to see it too. After the second or third bat, I had to change my bat. The humidity was so bad. My batting gloves were soaking wet. And so the grip was slipping. Yes, it was a struggle. And I actually used wide receiver gloves. That's what I changed into, and they gripped a little bit better. So,
Eric, man, what about you? This is championship number 6 for you, but it was a different setting, a different pitcher. Like how you made a big decision about this time last year, whatever, a little bit less than that. How'd the year go for you, and did this championship feel any different for you?
I had a blast this year. It was awesome. This is probably I'd say my second favorite one. It was cool to win one with Kyle, especially. I mean, me and him have been friends since we were 8, 9 years old, but we go back like a slingshot. So it was cool for him to be my pitcher. It was cool to when you win a lot of them in a row, you kind of, I don't want to say forget, but it's not as sweet as that first one. And it was awesome to be able to see Justin, Nick, Mark, a lot of these guys have played for a while now, or at least a couple of years, and it was awesome. It really brought me back to before all of this, and it was a great feeling.
It would have been cool if we could have got Kyle hooked up with us, because he, right from the moment this team was put together, it seemed like all of the focus was put on Kyle. If they don't do well, it's Kyle's fault. If they don't win a championship, it's because of Kyle. But from the moment you guys played in your first tournament, I don't remember seeing another comment like that, because Kyle stepped up. He answered the bell.
Well, you guys definitely know this, Neil and Seth. When you guys were the dogs back in the day, people just search for stuff, And so Kyle went out, I saw Kyle grow up this year. I saw him pitch his butt off, and, the proof is in what happened. So, I'm proud of that boy, and, here to stay. Let him hate away. That's what I've been saying.
Seth, we definitely do know what he means. And in our heyday, there was a lot of, people had their opinions about everything, but I don't think it didn't have as much weight then, because there weren't, all our teams weren't communicating back then the way it is now.
The nation wasn't there.
No, there's nothing like that. The majority of the talk happened at the World Series. There was nothing Seth and I liked more than walking around the hotel the night before the World Series and just talking trash to other teams. and that's where you also would find out, who's playing with who didn't make it, whatever. But there's no surprises anymore. The second something's happening in beepball, it's out there.
The piano going off.
We do need the sound effects. Something that for me is I'm very envious of, I guess, watching what you guys got to do this year, because even though I've played on really successful teams, because my teams have always been so far removed from like the tournaments. I've never played the number of games you guys played this year, and I guess Justin, I'll start kind of directed at you because even though you've played, I've noticed in the past few seasons you've managed to mix in tournaments, but you're like playing one with Value City, then you go to the World Series with Atlanta. It's like you had to kind of move around to get in a lot of games, but with the Edge, you guys played in three, for two full-on tournaments and a 4-team tournament as well that was very competitive, plus the World Series. Like, what was that like, man, getting to play so many games with your teammates and building that camaraderie over so much opportunity?
Yeah, I think because we all got together late last year, in the fall, so we had a few practices where we got together, but we never all got together on the field really. We're going through the year practicing, but when we got to that first tournament, that was really just like all this lead up, like he's talking about, all people talking, and that's when we finally got together and put it together. And then every tournament, it was like it was the real nice thing about this year was instead of going from tournament to tournament and playing the exact same teams, we saw a lot of diversity before we got to the World Series, and so we pretty much seen all the teams that we was going to see, and so we knew for the most part what we was up against, but we all came together and started working together more and more each tournament and got more comfortable is what I felt like. So it was nice.
How'd you guys keep the chemistry together throughout the whole I was up one thing I was really interested in with the number of players that you guys had, that how the chemistry amongst the players who were playing, weren't playing, the rotation, all that stuff. I mean, obviously it went well. You guys won, but it seemed like everybody pulled together and was going in the same direction. How'd you guys feel that worked out?
I think both of you guys probably have heard about this before. No one's ever going to be truly happy with their playing time all the time. Someone's always going to be unhappy, but I do have to say this is the first team I've been on where it was really not that big of a deal. Everyone understood what the goal was. Everyone understood that, like, it doesn't matter how good Nick is or how good I am or, Kyle, like, we have to do this together. And so there's no I in team, that's kind of just how, sounds cheesy, but that's really kind of just how it was all year. And we didn't have too many big hiccups in the journey,
Yeah, I can pick. I'd agree with what Eric said, because it wasn't even like a thing that we had to really worry too much about. It just kind of all fell into place. We all worked together, good together, and then especially when you go to tournaments or World Series when it's 105 degrees, no one wants to stand out there for 6 straight innings. Really, I mean it's hot, so it's nice having that backup there, for real.
I've found that depends on the day. Like on Tuesday, nobody wants to stand out there. But Thursday and Friday, you're a little more tolerant of being out in the heat over being on the bench.
The
adrenaline. Oh, Eric, man, if you could, because I listened to so many games, but I still didn't have a true feeling of where you guys were playing everybody on the regular. So I'm assuming other people in the audience are in the same boat. So I was wondering if you could break us down on how you guys played defense and who played where most of the time.
Yeah, so it's basically like a double triangle. So we've got, we'll set it up. We'll have ones down the line, and then we'll put a 6 up the middle.
Okay.
And so we set up our short guy, the shortstop, which is like where I play. That's in a 3 in left field. And then we have Nick, who was playing straight up the middle in a 6. And then in deep left, they're set up in a 3. That was where Mark Morris was playing.
Okay.
And then we also have a deep 6. That was where Corey was playing. He's at about maybe like $155, $150, something like that. And then up front at short right, they are also placed in a 3. And then Justin, our deep right guy, plays in is it a 2, Justin?
Yeah, it's a 2 or a 3 depending
2 or
on
3. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but
it moves. Yeah.
Basically, we got the 2 up front, or 2, 1, and then 3 deep. So we got 3 deep guys, one like kind of middle level guy, and then the 2 guys up front. And everyone's meant to like collapse to the middle for sixes. And everybody's got like their responsibilities as far as, different balls hit out to us.
And it's Corian that plays the short right side, correct?
Yeah, my bad. I don't think I said his name.
Yeah. No, Corian, the first time I ever got to know Corian was when I had you and the fellas on, like from your house a couple years ago, the very first time.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, right. It seems like it was only like 2 years ago, but it feels like a million years ago, right? But man, I've had so much fun watching Corian develop. Like he just, it doesn't seem like he has a ceiling. Like each year he gets a little bit better.
He had a really good year this year. Yeah.
Corian, I think a lot of people might not even realize it's like Corian always wanted to play short. And like when we were on the Thunder, like he had to compete with Miguel and me. So it's like Corian being able to take that step up, because we had ended up moving Tello back to the second level back in the day. And, ever since Corian went up there, dude, he took off and he's listens to everything that like I tell him to do. And he works hard when he's at practice. So, he's getting, I've seen him hustle, I remember when he won I think he got back like a 792 in like 2019 or 2021, something like that. And ever since he did that, that boy just took off, got confident out there. And, hey, that's why I love playing up there with him.
Hey, Justin, man, if you could get us up to date, you live in a smaller town in North Carolina. And I remember earlier in the year, a news item that from TV there locally, like some gentleman down at a local diner that heard about what you're doing in Beepball that started raising money for you. How'd that all turn out? How'd our fellas do for you?
Yeah, no, that turned out, we raised right at, I think, a couple $1,000, $2,000 or so. And it was crazy the way it happened. My uncle, he's, he does his own lawn care business. So every morning he goes and meets I guess here in North Carolina, the thing is go meet people for breakfast early. So this guy was working for American Airlines, and that's kind of how, the conversation got started. And he's like, well, I'm going to see what I can do. And he started a GoFundMe, and then the news reached out and we did a little segment, and the word got out, and it did really good, which, it's not a cheap sport to live in North Carolina and go practice in anywhere really, because it's always a couple hours away, or, flying to Indy, flying there and back. And so it was a huge help.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you made so much, because they were involved in just about any tournament that they could be involved in, and they had the big practice weekends and stuff. And going back to like last October when you first signed up with the Edge, you were part of all of it. Seems like your family's real supportive in helping you get to all this stuff.
Yeah, it's I've been able to make it, since January-ish is when I, tried to make it at least once a month. And it's the real nice thing about it is Steve and Leah, they help me as far as having a place to stay and get me to and from the airport. So that's a big help. And then I can work from their house. I work from home, so I can work while I'm there. And so I don't really miss out on anything. And so go practice for 4 or 5 days, still able to work and, come back. So that's nice.
All right. Nice. All right, fellas, I told you ahead of time, didn't have a ton of stuff for you, but I do want to get your thoughts, because it certainly seems like this all-star weekend in November for Beep Baseball players is going to happen. And even though I'm on the committee with a few other players, I don't know a lot about the all-star weekend as far as like who's going to be pitching and spotting, how the teams are going to be picked, like all that stuff. I don't know any of it. I was fortunate enough to be asked to be part of the players that will be involved, but I'm not part of any of the organization. But I would love to get your thoughts on just it happening. Let's start out with you, Eric. Man, what do you think about the possibility of it happening?
Well, I think it's about damn time. No, I'm actually super excited about it. I think we finally get all of the best people together, do some games. I had talked to D Smith. I know he had said they were trying to do like some skills challenges, and they want to do like a best of 3, like of the 2 teams that they make up. So it sounds like it's going to be a really fun weekend. I probably will be going. So like I'm looking forward to it. No, beat ball in November, can't beat that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you get a chance. Justin, I'm between me, you, and the fence post, like on my top 30. Eric's just outside, like
31
out
or
there.
2.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you have any thoughts? Do I have them too high, too low? Do you think I give
Yeah.
another look?
Yeah, 31 to 37. That's around that. Pretty accurate, yeah.
Seth, though, don't you think it would have been cool if we could have had this like opportunity or like something like this? Like when we played, nobody even did any kind of ranking of players.
No, yeah. I mean, everything is so. I mean, it's so much more. Let's say player friendly now, and it would have been. I mean, to go to an. Honestly, to be 100% honest, if we're talking about the game, the problem if we would have done it a long time ago is you didn't have like that laser amongst all the players, that laser focus on the game, right? So there might have been a little partying going on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It might have gotten sidetracked a little bit in that direction. And years ago, I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So now the players are more focused on this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Most people aren't out there drinking and partying and all this. So but it would have been fun. I
Been
would
a keg instead of a Gatorade cooler.
To show you that I know what you're saying, when Eric just said a possibility best 2 out of 3, I was like, do they realize how much time they're taking out of hanging out at the hotel party? That's a whole another 2-3 hours you're gonna be out in the heat. Well, we could be hanging out talking trash at the hotel.
Who wants to play when we can talk trash?
I forgot. I did have one more thing that I wanted to ask each of you. Like for the whole season, this whole experience, whether it's at the World Series or whether it's just a moment like at a practice or something. I'll start out with you, Eric. Do you have a favorite moment like from this season? Is there something about this season, like a particular game or moment that just will stand out to you for a long time?
It's kind of a cliche one, but when Nick got the last put out, and like he had the ball just like hugged to his stomach, and like it was cool as hell to watch. I was just like, damn, because I could tell that he was like, oh shit, we just did it. It was still setting in, and then here I see Corian and Corey are like jumping on him. I see Justin running in. It was just, it was.
I was probably just looking lost.
Yeah, I don't know. That one just caught I mean, I don't catch much with my blind eye, but I caught that, and I'm like, man, damn. Just
it's a cool moment.
It's crazy.
The way you described it was a cool moment. Like, put a smile on your face. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, cliche would definitely be the World Series that whole week. I mean, we came in and it was just, I feel like we battled together. We came to get Kyle. Kyle had a phenomenal week, and so it was just it'll definitely be. I mean, for my first championship, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, that's amazing. But other than that, if I had to pick another one, I think Bolingbrook was. Steve wasn't there. It was Kyle kind of stepped up as the leader, as more of the coach role, and we didn't have the prettiest Saturday. We still won. We still did what we needed to do, but Kyle came out and I feel like we had like a team meeting that night. We all rallied together a little bit and came out and did what we needed to do the next day. So I feel like that was one of the moments I remembered us coming together as a team and saying, hey, look, wasn't pretty, but we stuck together and then we pushed through the next day. So
I'd say Nick's home run. That was really cool too.
Yeah.
When he hit his first
Which was
win in Bolingbrook. Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being on Greg Lindbergh's podcast, the Eyes Free Sports podcast, and I didn't put it in these words, but I was thinking it that you guys were like a video game this year. You know what I mean? Like you get in a video game and you build up your favorite team like all big and go and dominate the other teams. And you guys were doing video game type stuff with Justin in the championship game with his 2 home runs, and Nick Mulherron doing that in Bolingbrook, like you just brought up. Like I don't know. It was fun to watch it. I can't imagine how much like fun it was to be part of it for you guys.
I gotta stop saying I'm not gonna see things, because that one, it's rare to see 1 home run a season, let alone 2 in one damn game.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You two probably would agree. Like, I never thought we would ever see that, but I also never thought Corey would walk off a home run.
Yeah,
that one.
I gotta stop saying never.
Yeah, no, 2 years in a row, the championship game has had like something stunning happen, and you were right there front and center for both of them. It's pretty cool. Well, all right, fellas, man, we don't have anything else for you guys unless you do. Seth, you got anything else you want to throw at them? Any pop quiz, code of ethics?
Oh, Jesus.
Seth, it's all right.
Well, I mean, are you guys? I mean, so is this the building of the start of a dynasty? Is this the start of a run, or was this kind of a 1-year thing? People can go their own separate ways, or are you guys here for the long haul?
You know, man, we're all really good friends now. We just all happen to be really good at beepball, so we're probably going to be around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only one that really, out of the starting lineup, this year, the starting lineup that we put together, I was really I was the outsider, coming in from North Carolina. So, those guys, it really is. And that's what I guess the last thing I'll say is the one big thing about us is we really are just one big, like, chill group. Like, we hang out on the field and it's serious, but we also off the field are all good friends and like to hang out. So.
Well, that's honestly, that's what I miss about playing more. Like I love playing and I love being on the field. And I certainly, when I hear teams playing, I miss that. But more than that, I miss like the poker games after a practice and hanging out at the hotel together. Those were the most up to this point, the most fun times in my life. That's what I really miss, is the camaraderie. So,
yeah,
man, congrats.
I had one more thing before we get
off.
Justin said it kind of briefly a second ago. Justin is our only out-of-state starter, so I don't think that makes us an all-star team if we've only got one person out of state who starts.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I personally would disagree with that, just because you guys did. It would be like if Brandon Chesser and Daniel Brock go to the Heat, that is a huge free agent acquisition. You know what I'm saying? A move even of a few feet is a move. So I mean, and you guys brought on like some of the best players in the world. So you know what I'm saying?
Whenever I hear all-star team, I think of like people from all over the country.
Just like the weekend that's coming up. That's
actually a perfect example.
Yeah, we're about to do it for the first time, and so
from that standpoint, like in the context of the All-Star week, yeah, I get that. I was just thinking more in the movement of all-stars. A collection of all-stars is an all-star team when they move.
All right. Well, either way, it turned out really, really good. So, man, congratulations to everybody involved. I don't know, over the last few years, I feel like I've developed a lot of friendships on the edge, and I certainly want to get others on as the year goes on. Still would like to get Kyle on, and Nick and Mark. let them come on air and talk about the first time. I try not to bring on too many at a time because I feel like it's hard to like really filter out any like content the larger it gets. So I just want, you got Eric with your defense MVP and also finishing second on the all tournament team, and Justin with you hitting 2 home runs, not just the first time in the championship game, but first time in a beat baseball game. I just wanted to get you guys up first and highlight you all, but the whole team deserves it. You guys had a great year. Congratulations to you.
We
I don't.
appreciate it.
You bet. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing next week, but I know that Bam Bam and I will be here doing it with you. So everybody be well until then. Thank you, Frank Porter. Even though you didn't do nothing this week, I'll still say thank you. I'm thankful that Frankie's still with the team, man.
It's funny. I totally forget that this one is live or whatever. There's no difference.
No editing on this one.
But thank you, Seth.
What'd you say?
I said they're focused on me. You're all good.
Yeah, right.
I'll say thank you, Seth, but also thank you to everybody. Seth and I did recaps every day of the World Series. We ended up doing 5 shows all together in like a 7-day stretch. But I thought that we would be just flooding everybody with too much Neil and Seth, and the views would be way down, and our views were like right around what they normally are and higher. Like after we posted our final recap, within the first 24 hours we had 130 views, which is YouTube wise, who cares, but for our world that's a good number. I think most of it's because we had those Justin home runs at the beginning. So the average time watching was probably like 2 minutes, but we had a lot of hits. So we thank you guys for it. So we will be back and keep this